Welcome to BookBuzz Reviews and Summaries. Imagine waking up every morning feeling trapped, not just by the lack of money in your bank account, but by something far deeper, something invisible, yet all-encompassing. You work hard, you dream big, but no matter how much effort you put in, financial freedom seems like an elusive mirage. Now, let me ask you this. What if the real barriers to your success aren't external? What if they're hidden within you? Welcome to a groundbreaking journey into the hidden truths about wealth, mindset, and personal freedom, a journey led by the brilliant Jessica Moorhouse in her transformative book, Everything But Money: The Hidden Barriers Between You and Financial Freedom. This is not just another book about budgeting or saving. It's a raw, eye-opening revelation about the mental and emotional roadblocks holding you back from the financial life you deserve. Here's the twist. Money is not the problem. The problem is the stories you've been told, the beliefs you've internalized, and the fears you've carried for far too long. Moorhouse peels back the layers to reveal how societal norms, family dynamics, and even your own self-doubt are the silent saboteurs of your financial growth. Think about it. How many times have you hesitated to ask for a raise because you were afraid of rejection? How often have you avoided investing because you thought you weren't smart enough? How many dreams have you shelved because they felt impossible? This book dares to challenge everything you think you know about money. Jessica Moorhouse doesn't just hand you tips and tricks for managing your finances. She gives you the tools to rewrite your financial story from the ground up. She invites you to examine your relationship with money, confront your fears, and take bold steps toward a life where money is no longer a source of anxiety, but a tool for freedom. In this podcast, we're diving into the heart of this revolutionary work. We'll uncover why so many of us feel stuck in a cycle of scarcity, even when we have the potential for abundance. We'll explore the myths and misconceptions about wealth that have been holding you back, and most importantly, we'll show you how to break free. So, whether you're drowning in debt, stuck in a paycheck-to-paycheck grind, or just feeling like you'll never get ahead, this episode is for you. Jessica Moorhouse believes that financial freedom isn't just for the lucky few. It's for anyone brave enough to look beyond the numbers and confront the hidden barriers within. Are you ready to take that first step? Let's go. Part 1. Breaking through the myths and mental blocks. In part 1 of Everything But Money, Jessica Moorhouse sets the stage for a transformative journey. Through a mix of personal stories, real-life examples, and sharp insights, she unravels the hidden psychological, emotional, and cultural barriers that keep people from achieving true financial freedom. This section doesn't just discuss numbers. It dives deep into the mindset shifts necessary to unlock your potential. Chapter 1. The False Promises of the American Dream. Jessica opens the book with a vivid scene from her own life, a memory of her younger self diligently following all the rules for success. She recounts how she was raised to believe that if you worked hard, stayed in school, and got a good job, financial success would naturally follow. It's a familiar script, and Jessica confesses that she bought into it wholeheartedly, until she didn't. Her first big wake-up call came in her mid-20s, when she realized that despite doing everything right, she was stuck in a cycle of financial stress. Her story becomes a mirror for the audience, as she explores how many people internalize this same belief system, only to find that it doesn't always deliver. Jessica deconstructs the myth of the American dream, showing how it fails to account for systemic barriers, income inequality, and the emotional baggage we carry about money. She uses examples from her coaching clients, like a woman who inherited her parents' belief that saving for retirement was a luxury, and a man convinced he'd never escape debt because his family never did. The chapter ends on a hopeful note, with Jessica encouraging readers to let go of these outdated scripts and prepare to reframe their relationship with money. Chapter 2. The Invisible Scripts That Keep You Stuck. This chapter delves into the concept of invisible scripts, unspoken beliefs and narratives that guide our financial behaviors, often without us realizing it. Jessica shares how these scripts are formed, shaped by childhood experiences, cultural influences, and societal norms. She recalls an intimate moment from her own life, sitting at the dinner table as a child and listening to her parents argue about money. Even though they never explicitly taught her about finances, those arguments planted a script in her mind. Money is stressful and always leads to conflict. For years, she avoided financial discussions in her relationships, fearing they'd lead to fights. Jessica invites readers to reflect on their own invisible scripts, posing questions like, what did your parents teach you about money, intentionally or unintentionally? How do your cultural or societal beliefs shape your financial decisions? What fears or assumptions do you hold about wealth, debt, or spending? The chapter becomes a treasure hunt for uncovering the subconscious narratives that drive your financial habits. Jessica encourages readers to question these scripts, offering a mix of humor and tough love as she explains how they can be rewritten. Chapter 3: Money Shame and the Weight We Carry. Jessica turns to the deeply personal topic of money shame in this chapter, weaving her own experiences with those of others. She describes the paralyzing guilt she felt after racking up credit card debt in her early 20s, despite knowing better. It wasn't the amount that crushed her, but the belief that she had failed her parents, failed society, and, worst of all, failed herself. Money shame, Jessica explains, is one of the most powerful barriers to financial freedom. It's not just about numbers, it's about identity. Many people tie their self-worth to their net worth, believing that financial mistakes are moral failings rather than opportunities to learn. The chapter is filled with relatable anecdotes. A single mom who hid her financial struggles from her children because she didn't want them to think she was weak. A young professional who refused to ask for a raise because she felt she didn't deserve more money. A retiree haunted by regret for not saving enough, even though unexpected medical bills had derailed their plans. Jessica guides readers through a process of acknowledging and releasing money shame, emphasizing that it's not about perfection but progress. She introduces practical tools, like journaling about financial mistakes or sharing your story with a trusted friend, to begin healing. Chapter 4: The Fear of Financial Freedom. This chapter flips the narrative. What if the thing holding you back isn't fear of failure, but fear of success? Jessica admits this was a revelation in her own life. After working tirelessly to pay off her debt, she found herself sabotaging her progress by overspending on things she didn't need. It wasn't about lack of discipline, it was about discomfort with the idea of actually being financially free. Jessica explores how fear of financial freedom manifests in subtle ways, like clinging to debt as a safety net because being debt-free feels unfamiliar, avoiding wealth-building strategies because they seem too complicated or not for people like me, downplaying successes to avoid jealousy or judgment from friends and family. The chapter is both eye-opening and empowering. Jessica helps readers confront these fears with a mix of compassion and practical advice. She encourages them to visualize what financial freedom could look like, not just in terms of numbers, but in how it could change their daily lives. Chapter 5: The Cultural Taboo Around Talking About Money. The final chapter in Part 1 tackles one of society's biggest hurdles, the taboo around discussing money. Jessica recalls how she once thought it was impolite to talk about finances, even with close friends or family. It wasn't until she started having honest conversations about money that she realized how much she could learn, and how much others were struggling too. Jessica shares surprising statistics about how few people talk openly about money, even with their partners. She explains why this silence perpetuates shame, ignorance, and financial mistakes. Through poignant anecdotes, she shows how breaking this taboo can lead to profound growth. A couple who saved their marriage by finally addressing their financial struggles together. A group of friends who started a monthly money club to share tips and hold each other accountable. A young professional who negotiated a 30% raise after practicing salary conversations with a mentor. The chapter ends with actionable steps for starting these conversations in your own life, whether it's with a partner, friend, or financial advisor. Jessica emphasizes that the goal isn't to have all the answers, It's to open the door to learning and growth. The heart of Part 1. Jessica Moorhouse's storytelling in Part 1 of Everything But Money is both raw and relatable. She invites readers to reflect on their own experiences with money, challenging them to confront uncomfortable truths and dismantle harmful beliefs. It's not about quick fixes or rigid budgets. It's about understanding the deeper forces at play and reclaiming your power. The stage is now set for the next part of the book, where Jessica dives into the tools and strategies for rewriting your financial narrative. If Part 1 is about awareness, the next step is action, and Jessica promises readers that the journey will be worth it. Part 2. Rewriting your financial narrative. In Part 2 of her book, Jessica Moorhouse transitions from identifying the hidden barriers to taking actionable steps toward rewriting your financial story. Using a blend of motivational storytelling, practical exercises, and relatable anecdotes, she provides readers with the tools to transform their relationship with money. Part 2 is about empowerment, showing readers that financial freedom isn't just about the numbers, but about creating a sustainable, values-driven plan that reflects who you truly are. Chapter 6. Rewriting the scripts that hold you back. Jessica opens this chapter with a powerful metaphor. Our financial lives are like a script, written by our past experiences, societal expectations, and family beliefs. While we didn't get to choose the first draft, we do have the power to rewrite it. She shares a story about one of her coaching clients, a woman named Lisa, who grew up believing that money is evil because her parents equated wealth with greed. This belief led Lisa to self-sabotage her finances, avoiding promotions and opportunities that could have increased her income. With Jessica's help, Lisa began challenging this script by asking, what would happen if I viewed money as a tool for good instead of something inherently bad? Jessica guides readers through a 3-step process for rewriting their scripts. 1. Identify your limiting beliefs. Write down every belief you have about money, from I'll never have enough to rich people are selfish. 2. Challenge these beliefs. Ask yourself where these beliefs come from. Are they based on facts or fear? 3. Rewrite the narrative. Replace each limiting belief with an empowering one. For example, I'll never have enough becomes I can learn to manage and grow my resources. Jessica emphasizes that this isn't a one-time exercise. It's a practice that requires consistency and self-compassion. Chapter 7. Clarifying your values and financial goals. In this chapter, Jessica introduces the idea that money is not an end in itself, but a means to live a life aligned with your values. She shares a personal story about how, early in her career, she chased a high-paying corporate job because she thought it was the responsible thing to do. But despite the paycheck, she felt unfulfilled. It wasn't until she aligned her spending and saving with her values, freedom, creativity, and family, that she found true financial peace. Jessica walks readers through an exercise to clarify their own values. Write down the 5 things that matter most to you in life. Reflect on whether your financial habits support these priorities. Set short-term and long-term goals based on these values. For example, if family is a core value, you might prioritize saving for family vacations or contributing to your children's education fund. Jessica explains that this approach not only makes financial decisions easier, but also reduces guilt around spending because you know your choices align with your values. Chapter 8. Building a financial plan that works for you. Jessica acknowledges that the term financial plan can feel overwhelming, especially for those who are just starting their journey. To make it approachable, she reframes it as a flexible guide for your money. She begins by debunking the myth that there's a one-size-fits-all approach to personal finance. Jessica argues that your financial plan should be as unique as your fingerprint, reflecting your goals, values, and circumstances. She introduces a simple framework for building a personalized plan. 1. Track your income and expenses. Start by understanding where your money is going. Jessica shares her own experience of being shocked by how much she spent on takeout before she started tracking. 2. Create a spending plan. Replace the word budget with spending plan to make it feel less restrictive. Allocate funds for necessities, savings, and guilt-free spending. 3. Set up automatic systems. Automate your savings and bill payments to reduce stress and ensure consistency. 4. Revisit and adjust. Life changes, and so should your plan. Jessica encourages readers to review their finances quarterly. The chapter is filled with actionable tips, like using budgeting apps or creating a fun fund for spontaneous expenses. Jessica's tone is supportive and encouraging, reminding readers that it's okay to make mistakes as long as you keep moving forward. Chapter 9. Overcoming Setbacks and Staying Motivated. Jessica tackles the inevitable setbacks that come with any financial journey, sharing her own story of losing a significant chunk of her savings during a market downturn. Instead of giving up, she reframed the experience as a learning opportunity, which ultimately made her a more informed investor. She introduces strategies for overcoming setbacks, embrace the learning curve, view mistakes as opportunities to grow, celebrate small wins, acknowledge every step forward, no matter how small. Stay connected to your why. Keep your values and goals front and center to maintain motivation. Jessica also discusses the role of community in staying accountable. She encourages readers to find a money buddy or join a financial support group where they can share struggles and successes. Chapter 10. Breaking the Cycle of Comparison. This chapter addresses one of the biggest barriers to financial peace, the comparison trap. Jessica shares how, early in her career, she constantly compared herself to friends who seemed to have it all: luxury vacations, designer clothes, and fancy cars. It wasn't until she learned to focus on her own journey that she found contentment. Jessica explains how social media fuels the comparison trap, making it easy to feel inadequate. She offers practical tips for breaking free. Limit social media use. Take a break from platforms that trigger feelings of inadequacy. Practice gratitude. Focus on what you have rather than what you lack. Remember the bigger picture. Recognize that everyone's journey is different, and wealth is not the sole measure of success. The chapter ends with a powerful reminder: your worth is not defined by your wallet. True wealth is about living a life that feels rich to you. The heart of Part 2. Part 2 of Everything But Money is both practical and inspiring. Jessica Moorhouse equips readers with the tools to take control of their finances while staying true to themselves. Through relatable stories, actionable advice, and a healthy dose of humor, she makes the process feel less daunting and more empowering. This section is a bridge between awareness and action, laying the foundation for the final part of the book, where Jessica dives into advanced strategies for building lasting wealth and achieving financial freedom. Part 3. Building Lasting Wealth and Financial Freedom. Part 3 is the crescendo of Jessica Moorhouse's financial journey. After uncovering hidden financial barriers and rewriting your money narrative in Parts 1 and 2, this section focuses on the practical, long-term strategies to build wealth, create financial security, and achieve freedom. Jessica's approach remains grounded and accessible as she blends expert advice with real-life stories, all told in her signature conversational tone. Chapter 11. The Power of Financial Education. Jessica opens this chapter with a stark truth. The gap between financial freedom and financial struggle often comes down to education. She recounts how, early in her life, she didn't understand terms like compound interest or asset allocation and felt intimidated by the jargon. It wasn't until she began educating herself through books, podcasts, and courses that she realized financial knowledge is power. Jessica shares 3 key pillars of financial education. 1. Understand the basics. Start with foundational concepts like budgeting, saving, and debt management. 2. Learn about investing. Break the myth that investing is only for the wealthy. Jessica provides a beginner-friendly overview of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs. 3. Stay curious. Keep learning as your financial situation evolves. Subscribe to newsletters, follow credible financial experts, and never stop asking questions. She introduces her readers to the idea of becoming financially literate by committing just 15 minutes a day to learning something new about money. Chapter 12. Saving for a Secure Future. In this chapter, Jessica dives deep into the importance of saving for long-term security. She begins with a personal story about how she and her partner started saving for retirement in their late 20s despite living paycheck to paycheck. By prioritizing small, consistent contributions, they were able to build a safety net over time. Jessica emphasizes the importance of emergency funds. Save at least 3 to 6 months' worth of expenses to protect yourself against unexpected events. Retirement savings. Contribute to retirement accounts like 401(k)s or IRAs, taking advantage of employer matching programs where possible. Goal-based saving. Save for specific milestones, such as buying a home, starting a business, or taking a dream vacation. She provides practical tips for overcoming common obstacles, like feeling overwhelmed by the amount you need to save or struggling to find extra money in your budget. Jessica's advice is simple but powerful. Start small, but start now. Chapter 13. Debt as a Tool, Not a Burden. Jessica takes a nuanced approach to debt, acknowledging that while it's often seen as a financial enemy, not all debt is bad. She distinguishes between good debt, such as student loans or mortgages, which can provide long-term value, and bad debt, like high-interest credit card debt, which can quickly spiral out of control. She shares the story of a friend who felt trapped by $50,000 in credit card debt. Together, they developed a debt repayment plan using two popular strategies. The snowball method. Focus on paying off the smallest debts first to build momentum. The avalanche method. Pay off debts with the highest interest rates first to save money over time. Jessica also discusses the emotional toll of debt and offers strategies for managing anxiety and guilt. She reminds readers that paying off debt is a journey and encourages them to celebrate each milestone along the way. Chapter 14. Investing with Confidence. Investing can feel intimidating, but Jessica demystifies the process by breaking it down into manageable steps. She shares how she overcame her own fear of investing by starting small and gradually increasing her contributions as she gained confidence. Jessica explains the importance of starting early. Thanks to compound interest, even small investments can grow significantly over time. Diversification. Spread your investments across different asset classes to reduce risk. Low-cost index funds. These funds are a simple, cost-effective way to invest in the stock market. She provides a beginner-friendly overview of investment platforms and encourages readers to take advantage of free resources like robo-advisors and financial literacy apps. Chapter 15. The Freedom to Choose. This chapter is the heart of Part 3, and arguably the entire book. Jessica emphasizes that financial freedom is not about having endless wealth, but about having the freedom to make choices that align with your values and goals. She shares stories of people who use their financial stability to pursue passions, spend more time with family, or give back to their communities. Jessica herself recounts how achieving financial freedom allowed her to leave a corporate job she disliked and build a career she loves. Jessica encourages readers to ask themselves, what would you do if money weren't an obstacle? How can financial freedom bring you closer to your ideal life? She ties this back to the lessons in parts 1 and 2, reminding readers that the journey to financial freedom begins with understanding and redefining their relationship with money. Chapter 16. Leaving a Legacy. In the final chapter, Jessica discusses the importance of thinking beyond your own financial needs to consider the impact you want to have on others. Whether it's leaving an inheritance, supporting charitable causes, or mentoring the next generation, she argues that true wealth is about making a difference. Jessica shares the story of a couple who, after achieving financial independence, created a scholarship fund for underprivileged students. Their story illustrates how money can be a powerful tool for good when used intentionally. She encourages readers to think about their legacy and provides actionable tips for estate planning, setting up charitable donations, and teaching financial literacy to children. The heart of Part 3. Part 3 is a masterclass in long-term financial planning. Jessica Moorhouse provides readers with the knowledge and tools to build lasting wealth while staying true to their values. Through a mix of practical advice and inspiring stories, she makes the journey to financial freedom feel achievable, regardless of where you're starting from. This section is not just about money, it's about creating a life of purpose, security, and fulfillment. Jessica's closing message is both empowering and hopeful. Financial freedom is possible for anyone willing to take the first step. Thanks for listening. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new video updates. Happy learning!